Right now, a 10-year-old boy is dead following years of abuse at the hands of his father. We'll hear from the boy's uncle and grandmother, who are upset with the system that they say allowed this to happen. Two young men are dead after a Christmas night crash in Rock County. The latest from investigators about what happened. Plus, a Madison Public Library bus service is working to improve access for Spanish speakers.
From the Channel3000.com Alert Center, this is News 3 Now at 6.
Hello, everyone. Eric and Charlotte are off tonight. A local family is grieving the loss of a little boy in their family tonight. This week, they cremated their 10-year-old nephew and grandson after he was killed following several years of abuse. Our Amy Reed sat down with his family and joins us now to share what they hope people learn from what happened. Amy?
The family of Dakota Collins is heartbroken. They say they would have taken the 10-year-old if they could, and now they're wondering why the system didn't let them, instead allowing this tragedy to happen.
And like it was getting back to it, everybody knows he was a sweet little boy, always smile on his face, everything.
6 years ago, Dakota Collins was taken to Ohio despite his grandmother in Wisconsin hoping to take him into her care.
If we would have went and got him, he'd still be here.
What followed instead, when courts granted his father, Al Matahan McLean, custody, was years of abuse leading to his death, according to court records. At their home in Dayton, police learned Collins was locked in the attic naked. His head had been held underwater, and his autopsy showed he had cuts and bruises from head to toe. His father is now facing counts of endangering children, felony assault, and rape of a child under the age of 13. Hearing this is devastating to the people who would have loved to give Dakota a loving home, leaving them frustrated at the system that failed this boy.
They do nothing until something like this happens, and then they scramble to figure out where they went wrong, or or saying that they did everything right when we know they didn't do it right.
Two women lived in the home with McLean, and police said they knew about the abuse. They're also facing charges. Dakota's family hopes they'll be held accountable.
Somebody's gonna try getting out of it. And in my eyes, I don't think that should be possible. You know, we can't get them back. Why should they have a second chance?
These two said with help from friends and family, they've paid for cremation services and costs to bring Dakota's remains to Wisconsin. However, they said some involved are trying to start GoFundMe pages based off this. They warned they don't know where that money is going and to be cautious in donating to those.
Amy, thank you. We now know the name of the victim of a homicide in Madison on Christmas Eve. Sheila Green was killed Tuesday afternoon on Midvale Boulevard. The Dane County Medical Examiner says the 63-year-old woman died from a gunshot wound. Joseph Green has been identified as the homicide suspect. He was booked into the Dane County Jail early yesterday morning. Next at 6, the unusually warm weather is on its way out. Let's check in now with Dave Caulfield. Dave?
Yeah, a cold front ushered in some cooler air to southern Wisconsin gradually from west to east today, Susan. At one point, it was 60 degrees in Kenosha and about 38 degrees in Madison. Right now, we've sort of leveled the playing field with those temperatures for most of us in the mid to upper 30s. Closer to the mid-40s in Milwaukee and Kenosha, close to 40 degrees. Still about 10 degrees colder compared to this time yesterday, and we won't be as mild tonight or tomorrow in Madison as we take a look at the Edgewater Skycam. Right now, cloudy skies making that wind out of the west at 5 miles per hour, making it feel a little bit closer to the freezing mark. Temperatures will fall into the upper 20s to start off our Friday, and then highs with possibly some stubborn clouds hanging around tomorrow in the upper 30s and maybe a few low 40s tomorrow. We'll talk about a big weekend system on the way. It could be a soggy last weekend of 2019 in your first alert forecast.
Dave, thank you. Michigan State Police say they found a missing 5-year-old boy dead in a pond near his family's home. 5-year-old Bo Brennan Belson, who has autism, was last seen Christmas afternoon playing staying with family members. He was found this afternoon. Investigators do not suspect foul play. In Rock County, police are looking for the people responsible for several car break-ins this week. In this surveillance video, a man is seen rummaging through an unlocked car in the city of Evansville. Police there say they've seen a number of break-ins and even a stolen car this week, and they are reminding everyone to lock their car doors. 2 young men are dead following an overnight crash near Janesville. Rock County reporter Adam Duxter spoke to officials today and joins us now from our Janesville Gazette Bureau with how they think it might have happened. Adam?
Now, Susan, the commander with the Rock County Sheriff's Office told me that the 19 and 20-year-old inside that vehicle were on their way back to work following a break late last night. He says the two were driving on Rockport Road, followed behind by another vehicle of coworkers. Police say moments before the crash, their car veered off the road to avoid hitting someone else and then hit a tree.
As the vehicle that was involved in the accident was traveling eastbound, there was a westbound vehicle, and according to the witnesses and coworkers behind the vehicle, said that it was kind of straddling the center line. So it appears that the driver took evasive action in order to avoid a head-on collision, and as a result of that, lost control of the vehicle and ultimately collided with the tree.
The 2 men were pronounced dead at the scene, and authorities say this investigation is still ongoing, although they don't believe that drugs or alcohol played a role in the crash at this time. They're waiting on results from the medical examiner's office before they release those 2 names to the public.
We'll continue to follow it. Adam Duxter live in Janesville. Adam, thank you. Governor Tony Evers says he's not ready to give himself a grade on his first year in office. Governor Evers gave himself a grade of incomplete during a recent interview about his first year and what's to come in 2020. This year has been filled with partisan disagreements with Republicans who control the legislature. Evers says the highlight was signing a state budget that met campaign promises of increasing funding for schools, roads, and health care. A study by Alliant Energy says customers can save $90 a year on their energy bills by shutting down or unplugging devices that are not being used. One way you can conserve energy in the new year is by using a smart power strip. They can detect when a device is in standby mode, like a cell phone that's fully charged, and automatically cut off electricity. And you can get one of those strips for free. Go to the residential tab on focusonenergy.com and select free products. A bus that delivers books from Dane County libraries is improving access to communities, but some people are still struggling to use it because of language barriers. Our partners at Madison 365 say in areas with a high Spanish-speaking population, some people aren't even aware of the Dream Bus or know about its services. A spokesperson from Madison Public Library says the library system is listening to feedback. The Dream Bus is not even a year old, so officials are still working on finding the best ways to reach users.
We know that we're reaching a lot of people, but we know that we have a ways to go in terms of reaching all of the communities that could best benefit from library service in Madison.
One of the 2 Dream Bus drivers speaks fluent and native Spanish, and some of the books, city schedules, and DVDs inside the Dream Bus are also in Spanish. New at 6, the Madison School District has announced 3 finalists for superintendent. Dr. Matthew Gutierrez is a superintendent in Texas. Dr. Marguerite Vanden Weigard is an assistant professor of educational leadership at the College of St. Rose in Albany, New York. And Dr. George Eric Thomas is deputy superintendent for the Georgia State Board of Education in Atlanta. Each candidate will come to Madison to meet staff members and attend public listening sessions in January. UW Hospital has seen an increase in the number of people who donate their kidneys to strangers. There were 28 people who donated to strangers this year. The hospital saw its first stranger donation in 2003. Between then and 2017, there have been an average of 4 each year. The National Kidney Registry says there were about 300 donors who gave a kidney to people they didn't even know this year. As the Badgers get ready for the Rose Bowl in California, fans here at home are picking up their Bucky gear ahead of the game. The University Bookstore is bringing in all kinds of Rose Bowl gear, including clothes and swag, but hats are selling the most this year. The store started selling the Rose Bowl gear one day after the Badgers announced they were returning to Pasadena. Half of the money raised with the UW trademarked items goes to athletics, and the other half goes to fund scholarships.
Lots of t-shirts, long sleeve sweatshirts. Those have actually been flying off the shelves first because it's supposed to be a little bit cold at the game. I'm, of course, fingers crossed that the Badgers are going to win. I'm not too sure about it, but I'm hoping.
Right now, the bookstore is selling the Rose Bowl gear for 25% off. Next at 6, a group is paying it forward to their waitress who is dealing with some grief this holiday season. We'll hear what a difference it's made to her coming up. And there's more local news ahead as the minimum age to buy tobacco products changes from 18 to 21. We're asking local doctors and smoke shop owners about the impact they expect to see. That's coming up tonight on News 3 Now at 10. We'll be right back. A Racine County waitress is shocked by an act of kindness she received just in time for the holiday. On Sunday, a group of 13 women sat in Michelle Bachman's section at Mulberry's Pancakes and Cafe. They gave her a special Christmas card, and inside was a $1,300 tip. It's been hard for Bachman to smile this Christmas. Her sister Stephanie died in October after they battled cancer together.
As you know, Christmas came, I kind of felt like I kind of lost part of me. I think actually she's up there and she knew that I was kind of still sad about this, and honestly, I kind of felt like she sent those, she's an angel and she sent those angels to me.
The woman who left the tip belongs to the organization called Orchestrating Good. Its mission is to raise awareness of the good that is surrounding all of us. A Christmas gift at a Michigan zoo. A critically endangered black rhino calf was born on Christmas Eve. The yet-to-be-named calf can stand on his own after about an hour and a half. Black rhinos are close to extinction due to illegal poaching and habitat loss. According to the World Wildlife Fund, only about 5,500 are alive in the wild today. Today is one of the busiest travel days of the year. Millions of us start heading back home from holiday destinations. A dense fog advisory was in effect for areas north of Madison overnight, and that prevented some flights from landing. One flight from Tampa to Minneapolis couldn't land in the Twin Cities last night and had to divert to Dane County Regional Airport here in Madison. Those passengers found themselves stranded in Madison and had to sleep in the airport overnight. The Merrimack Ferry is undergoing maintenance and will be repainted over the winter. Department of Transportation officials say the ferry carried more than 200,000 vehicles across the Wisconsin River last season, making the trip more than 37,000 times. The final crossings of the season was November 18th, and the ferry will reopen in the spring. Coming up in sports tonight at 6, the Packers are getting ready for the season finale against the Lions this weekend. What that could mean a first-round bye. Kevin will have a preview coming up in sports. And we'll see a slight dip in temperatures overnight before our highs get stuck in the 30s again. No more 50s in the extended forecast. Dave has the details coming up next. This mild weather has been so great for traveling over the holidays, but now a little rain is moving in.
Yeah, as we get into this weekend, things looking a little bit soggier, that's for sure. And that's been a change. This whole month has been very, very dry, with only about a ½ an inch of snow and less than a 1/10 of an inch of liquid precipitation over the entire month. Now, this year has been another wet one, another one for the history books, right now in 7th place. But we've really been stuck just shy of 45 inches of rain for the past 3 weeks or so. I think that changes as we get into this weekend, and we'll move up this list. Now, how much will move up remains to be seen, but there's the potential here, folks, as we get into Monday, as this system exits, to get another inch to possibly even close to an 1.5 inches of rain. So we'll watch that very closely and we've been watching a very dry month. Just 4 days with measurable precipitation of any kind, and our biggest snowfall on a day was 0.2 of an inch on the 1st and the 16th of the month. Every other day has been dry, and I think that continues for one more day tomorrow before Saturday morning we start to see some rain and possibly even some snow just early on Saturday. Live in Madison on the WISC-TV Skycam, cloudy skies right now as a cold front came through today. We actually started off the day in the upper 40s, close to 50 degrees, just missing tying the daily record set back in 1936 by 1 degree. So we were the second warmest Christmas on record, missed that by 1 degree. And today, second best once again, missing this one by 1 degree. Still about 20 to 25 degrees above normal for this time of year. 54 the high in Janesville, 48 in Monroe, and 46 in Mineral Point. You can see where that cold front affected a little bit sooner than the rest of us. 39 the high in Boscobel. Compare that to 62 in Kenosha. So a wide variety of temperatures today just based on the placement of that front. We will be still relatively mild as we head into tomorrow, but not as mild. We'll be in the low 40s, still 10 degrees above normal for this time of year. Maybe touching 50 on Saturday, depending on those rain showers and their effect on the thermometers. We're in the 40s again on Sunday, and then getting a little bit more winter-like to end 2019, still running above normal though. On Future Track, we noticed that temperatures are starting off in the upper 20s. Tomorrow's highs, it depends on if we get those stubborn clouds to set up again. If we do, then I think we'll be stuck in the mid to upper 30s. If not, we may touch 40 tomorrow. Still noticeably cooler into our Friday. And then Saturday, maybe starting off with some areas of some light freezing rain or some light snow before things change over pretty quickly to just steady rain, and we'll have some areas of rain throughout the day. That rain could be coming down heavy at times, especially, note the time here, folks, this is Saturday night, so Saturday night into Sunday morning. We could see some downpours. Not out of the question a few rumbles of thunder either on Saturday. So we'll watch that. We're also watching for the potential of another inch to inch and a half of rain as this last big system of 2019 comes through and could get us up those rain record books. We are quiet into Tuesday and Wednesday with temperatures in the 30s for New Year's Eve and New Year's Day.
The Packers have their eyes on a first-round bye, while Aaron Jones has his eyes on 2 milestones against Detroit. Sports is up next. The Wisconsin football team gets to mix in a little play with work this week. Practice in the morning, Disneyland in the afternoon, where they got to take the stage with one of the most famous faces on the face of the earth. And he even made head coach Paul Chryst smile. Some players had never been to Disneyland, some never to the Rose Bowl or even to California. The Badgers said they're just going to enjoy the experience with their teammates no matter where they get to walk around.
You come here as a kid, some kids dream of coming here as a kid, and now you're being celebrated. You're one of the forefront events, and it's just a special feeling.
I've never been here before, so it's my first time, and I'm really looking forward to it, spending time with my teammates. You know, you don't get this experience that often, and, you know, to be at the Rose Bowl, it's amazing.
The last and only Packer to get 20 total touchdowns in a season, running back Ahman Green in 2003. Current Packers running back Aaron Jones leads the NFL with 19 total TDs this season, 16 rushing, 3 through the air. He's also 16 rush yards away from 1,000. He'd be the first Packer to hit that mark since Eddie Lacy in 2014. Jones, the Packers' 5th-round pick in 2017, evaded reporters during today's media session, but his teammates want him to hit both marks in the regular season finale against the Lions.
He's earned it. He ran really hard all year and been a big part of our success. 20 touchdowns would be fantastic. I don't know the last time. Tom probably does when a back had 20, but that's a pretty big number for running back.
He's always been a confident guy. I don't know if he's ever told you guys about when he first got here. I called out and said that he was going to be the player that he is today. So I'd like to take a little bit of credit for that. But yeah, he's a great player. He's obviously contributed a lot to this team's success as far as putting points on the board.
J.J. Watt's back to practice a month ahead of schedule. The 3-time Defensive Player of the Year tore his left pectoral muscle against the Raiders in late October. He said he felt really good after surgery, started asking questions about a possible return, and as long as they don't go too crazy at practice, the former Badgers star might be back for the Texans' first-round playoff game.
We left the door open for a possibility, and from there it was just literally day by day, just work, doing whatever I could do. And we arrived to here. I wouldn't call it a difficult decision, no. I mean, I get a chance to play in the playoffs with my team and go out there and try and help us win football games. And so, to me, that'll never be a difficult decision.
When you say things like fly through the air with the greatest of ease and look in the sky, it's a bird, it's a plane, Simone Biles is that. She's the 2019 AP Female Athlete of the Year. She led Team USA to the 2019 World Championships, picked up her 25th World's medal, also won the U.S. Nationals and the Stuttgart World Cup. 22-year-old Biles edged soccer star Megan Rapinoe to take top honors. From short 4'8" to very tall, Celtic center Taco Fall, 7'6". Thinking about a side hustle as a conductor of the Boston Pops. This was during their performance of Sleigh Ride. He said it's the first time he's ever had to wear a tuxedo. He takes a size 48 double extra long to fit him. So I would just, I'd bypass the whole tux thing. No problem for me finding men's clothes, though. So, yeah.
Love it. Good for him. And it's cooling off, Dave.
Yeah, temperatures in the low 40s tomorrow with some rain on the way this weekend. Could be a whole bunch for some of us.
All right. Thank you, guys. Thanks for watching, everybody. Have a good evening. We'll see you back here tonight at 10.